So if I want to be out by 11:45, I got a whole hour and 10 minutes to minister, collect offering, maybe share a couple of words, and then move on. John 11. Where I ask y'all to turn? So y'all spoiled. Y'all wait for the screen to show it. Open your Bible now. Good deal. We're going to roll through expositorily today. So let's just roll verse by verse. All right? We started this on Wednesday. If you missed Bible study, I'm not going to throw shade. But if you miss Bible study and use a member, I'm not going to throw shade. I'm going to think shade, see if it happens. All right. Let's move on. He's crazy. Verse by verse. Now a certain man, I'm sorry, Darius. Now a certain man was sick. What was his name, church? Lazarus, Eleazar in the Hebrew. Of where? So he was a certain man, and he had an issue. What was his problem? He was sick. The crazy thing is we don't know what he was sick of. And some of y'all are sick of some stuff. You ever be a certain person just sick of some stuff? Just wait, you're sick of people, you're sick of your job, sick of life, my grandmother, bless her soul, she would have moments where she, I'm just sick, I'm sick. Like, okay, grandma, it's okay, you need to go get your medicine. Now a certain man was sick, named Lazarus. His condition was given before his name was given. What happens when your condition precedes your identity? Of Bethany. You're working already. House, Bet-Ani, Beth, house, Ani of dates. The town of Mary and her sister Martha. Who came first? Mary. So the town is renowned because it holds somebody. Hopefully we can have a movement center or movement church that will be known, Fort Mill will be known, oh, that's the place where movement is. But if you have not been at his feet, you can't be known by anything significant in the kingdom. And her sister Martha, keep moving, just dealing with relationships. A certain man who has two sisters. Bless the sisters because they ain't married. And they got a sick brother. Uh-oh. All my single ladies. All my single ladies. What happens when the only men that in your life is sick? That's good right there. That's a singles conference right there. I'm going to move on. It's not where I want to get to. It was, parentheses, it was that Mary, so she has to be clarified. It's not just any Mary, but it's the Mary which anointed the Lord with an ointment and wiped his feet with her hair. Whose brother was sick. So it was the worshiper whose relationships were sick. It was the person who had intimacy with Christ who had a bad situation. I'm loving on a good Christ, but I got a bad situation. My hair is dirty from when I wiped his feet, but I got some dirty situations that I feel like I can't get clean from. I'm identified by my worship, but my situation is still real. Is there anybody here got a real situation, but my worship is for real? Here's the cacophony or the dissonance in the text is the fact that this is actually a prophetic word because this had not happened yet. You're known by what's getting ready to happen. Oh, that's good. I said you're known by what's getting ready to happen. You're known by what's getting ready to happen. I am so glad that he doesn't see me where I am, but he sees me where I'm getting ready to be. You're known by what's getting ready. Is there anybody in here ready to be glorified because he's already justified because he who he foreknew, he predestined and pre-called. So don't get tripped up by your today. Your tomorrow is going to be a whole lot better. I need to say that one more time. Don't get tripped up by your today. Your tomorrow. Can you help me preach to your neighbor as if we were in church and tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, your tomorrow is going to look a whole lot better. I said, your tomorrow is going to look a whole lot better. Stop texting, Vox. Your tomorrow is going to look a whole lot better. It's going to look a whole lot better. Sometimes today can look so bad that you will forget the fact that God's got a tomorrow for you. Have you ever, for my folk that wrestle with depression, have you ever felt like there is no tomorrow? Because I'm struggling trying to get through the day. I kind of bring a prophetic word of hope to you. Tomorrow is going to be a whole lot better than today. You ought to be excited because guess what? Yesterday is over. We all ought to give a praise right there. Yesterday is over. It's because of the Lord's mercies that I am not consumed. His compassions, they fail not. They're made new every morning. Great. In other words, whatever happened yesterday, he's wiped it away. He's wiped it away. Enjoy your today. Somebody shout, I'm enjoying today. Next verse. Therefore his sisters sent unto him, saying, they don't have text messages. They don't have IG. Can't slide in nobody's DMs. I know it sounds bad, but y'all know what I'm trying to talk about. Don't have Amazon Direct. Don't even have a Prime account. His sisters sent unto him. In other words, they must have had enough wherewithal to be able to send a messenger. Broke folk can't send nobody. You can send a telegram, call, collect. You don't even think we make collect calls no more. Anyway. Therefore, his sisters sent unto him. But watch, they sent unto him. In other words, we're going to stay here, but we're going to send word. I'm going to stay with the situation, but I'm going to send word to the cure. I'm going to stay here in the house with a sick situation, but I'm sending word to the healer. I'm going to stay here with a Lazarus who seems like he's not getting better, but if I can just get a word in time to the one who's got the solution, just maybe my solution will meet up to my issue before it's ever too late. His sisters sent unto him, and because they have relationship with him, I am so glad I am in relationship with him. So when I pray, I know he hears me. And though he may not answer when I want to, at least he heard me. Is there anybody here glad at least he heard you? It may not come out like you want it, but at least he heard me. I know the Father that I serve never sleeps nor slumbers. I may go to sleep, but he never sleeps nor slumbers, because he says, I know the thoughts that I think towards you, thoughts of good and not of evil. So if I'm always on his mind, that means something good is getting ready to come out of this. If I'm always on his mind, I want to tell you, you're always on his mind. And he sees and he knows. Oh, I feel like preaching. He sees and he knows. He sees and he knows. He sees and he knows. You may think you're by yourself, but he sees and he knows. I will never leave you, nor forsake you, but I'll be with you until the end of the age. And then why am I with you there? Because I was with you before you even got here. He's a bad God that can be your birthday and your death day at the same time. I can't hear nobody up in here. And he walks with me and talks with me and tells me I am his own. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. In other words, he will never leave my side. What can separate me from the love of God? Nothing can separate me. Therefore his sisters sent unto him, saying, Lord, behold. Lord, behold. That word behold in the Hebrew will be hey. And hey, let's work that right there. Hey, everybody do your hands and say, hey. Lord, hey. Sometimes you got to be like it, Lord, hey. It's real out here in these streets. Lord, hey. And the reason I had you do your hands like this, actually because in the Hebrew, the actual letter that reflects behold is actually, it looks like a man doing like this. So behold, I want your attention. And sometimes you need the Lord's attention. Sometimes it seems real iffy, but hey, it's like I'm a parent, and sometimes I'll try to talk calm to the things that are living in my house until they think I'm crazy already, so they don't really say, hey, I got your attention now, don't I? And some of us in the room are like, Lord, I need your attention. Have you ever felt like I'm in a bad situation, Lord, and you're not saying nothing, like you're not helping me at all? Where my real folk at? Like, hey. Let's flip the script. Let's cause it to be a proportional, what's that word in where you flip it? Inversion. I'll take that word. Now, I was looking for the algebra word, when you're doing fractions. No, you know what it is on the tip of it's on the tip of my forehead. It don't even matter. I'm spending a whole sermon talking about some mathematical thing. Inverse, the proportion. You win, you get a car, He's crazy. Anyway, inverse proportion. Now watch this. We are always saying, Lord, hey, Lord, I need your attention. It's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Oh, it's me, oh Lord. And not my mother, not my father, but me, oh Lord. And not my mother, not my father, but me, oh Lord. He's a battle land. No, I'm sorry. Whoa! It's about to get too real. Y'all play too much. We got guests. They're going to think me crazy in this church here. I'm sick of this church. Anyway, we always say, Lord, bless me. Lord, hook me up. Lord, do you hear me? Lord, I'm single. Lord, I'm thirsty. Just like, Lord, I got a need. Lord, I need some money. Lord, Lord. And I like Janet Jackson. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. What have you done for me lately? Ooh, yeah. Oh. Because I'm ratchet. Anyway, You ain't doing no more women's conference till you get your. Anyway, the Lord, now watch this. Stuttering. His sisters sent unto him. Now watch how they played the role. Y'all know when you really want something, you got to play on emotions. Now, I don't know that. We're the people that are like mama's girls, mama's boys, or you got that favorite parent that you know how to get their attention. Just wave your hand, just y'all. Behold, the one you love is sick. You see the drama in it? And they sent the message, so they probably say, now when you say, don't say don't say we need him. Tell him the one he loves. That'll get his attention. They're able to do this because there's a relationship, because it said in the previous verse, marry the one that. I want to bring this point out because we first said what I told you behold means. Throw your hands on, let's do it. How many times did Jesus say that about you? Crickets. The mic off. How many times did the Lord say, hey, I want your attention. Hey, I got something for you to do. Hey, that coworker that you don't like, that's the one I want you to pray for. Hey, that ex that you can't stand, I need you to intercede for them because they're getting ready to die. Hey. That was dramatic, wasn't it? Things happen. Tragedies are commonplace. Hey. In other words, there's always something for us to do that goes beyond ourselves. The problem is folk get real confused when they don't want to do something. I swear, you messing with the mic, because I don't think they heard me. People get real confused when they don't want to do something. Let the Lord tell you in the middle of your work day, I need you to walk up to the 2 cubicles over and just say, Jesus loves you. Okay, Lord, 2 cubicles to the left or 2 cubicles to the right? You want me to do that now or on my lunch break? You know I'm behind on my work because I showed up late. But Lord, facts. We get real confused when simple instructions. You never know when somebody just needs you to touch them and say, Jesus loves you. You never know when somebody just needs a hug. Sometimes you ever have somebody say something real simple to you and it like break you all the way down and you like, and they're like, what happened? Child, you just don't even know. Ooh, Jesus, thank you, Lord. Everybody do it. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Hey. And I believe today in this season, I believe God has some hey situations for us. Hey, we walking up the hill. Hey, we going to touch them doors. Hey, if there's somebody walking around, we're just going to ask them, hey, how you doing? Hey, what is your hey situation? I'm going to hasten to the point because I think I'm almost done, though I got so much more word to get to. Where my scriptures go? Y'all took it on? Thank you. I feel like I'm back. Verse 4. I'm going to name this. Where's the waiter? Oh, where's the waiter? Where's the waiter? Clever. Where's the waiter? This is where I was going to work, but y'all, I hasten to the point. I got ahead of myself. Thank you, Reverend. All y'all folk that go to restaurants, raise your hand. A restaurant. Not cookout. You're shady. I'm talking about the restaurant where there's a waiter, like you can't just walk in, you got to be seated. A restaurant. And then once you're seated, they're supposed to bring you water. I said they supposed to. And ain't nothing worse than they bring you a meal and they say bring you no silverware. Y'all ever had that? You be like, listen, what? Waiter. Or if you go to IHOP sometimes. Ooh, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. Y'all edit that out the tape. Well, you sitting there for 5 minutes and your whole party looking like, oh my God. And then everybody saw the trip and the first thing you ask is what? Where's the waiter? And guess what you say in the back of your head for some of y'all that kind of cheap? They ain't getting no tip. Why? Because the tip is a reflection of how you served. But because you didn't serve well, I'm going to take out your additional compensation. I could just end right. And so my tip is a reflection of your service. Now, some of us gracious people who have ever served, like I used to be a waiter at Shoney's. That's back when they had the breakfast bar. When I tell you that's the best breakfast in the whole, all my people that have ever been to Shoney's, just wave your hand. My God and Zion, them French toast sticks. And I'm so greedy, I would eat some fruit that cause the citric acid to kind of, put stuff down. That way I can eat some, just, thank God for Shoney's. But they took that little Shoney's bell. I don't know where he is right now. Anyway, so those that have ever served before, we give no matter what because we know this is that person's livelihood. The folk that have been in that situation before say, I know what you're going through, and matter of fact, I'm going to be good to you no matter how you've been to me. Because I've walked in your flesh, because I've been in that kind of situation, I can look beyond your faults and see your needs because I'm just that kind of person. And I just want to know, where's the waiter? Yeah. Thank God for a God who says, I'm going to be good to you in spite of you. I'm going to be good to you no matter how you are to me. Matter of fact, I'm going to love you so good, I'm going to make you love me better. Because I realize you're imperfect in your love, but I'm perfect in my love. So you're imperfectly serving a perfect God imperfectly, but I'm going to make up the difference. That's called grace. We all ought to wave our hands and say, thank God for grace. I'm going to say it again. We are imperfect serving a perfect God imperfectly, but yet instead he makes up the difference and views it as if you're serving him perfectly and says, I'm going to look beyond all that. And no matter what anybody says, I get accused. You get accused every day because the devil is going before his throne accusing you every day. It says he's accusing a brother both day and night. So every time you mess up, the devil says, see, I told you couldn't trust him. I told you shouldn't have cleaned him. I told you shouldn't have saved him. I told you should have just left him out in that word. He says, nope, I got a plan. Thank God for God's plan. Just wave your hand. Thank God for God's plan. Take me to verse 4. I got to get out of here because we got to get up the street and I got to get down to Greenville, Cleveland, South Carolina, wherever that is. And when Jesus heard that the sickness is not unto death, when Jesus heard that, hey, the one you love is sick. Watch this, because the way Jesus treats people that he likes may not necessarily be what you would always think. The way he treats people he likes may not be the way you always think. How many treat your friends better than you treat everybody else? Tell the truth, shame the devil. Oh, y'all treat your enemies the same way you treat your friends? Let's try the survey again. We had skewed results. The populace didn't come back right. Now we had some variance in our population. How many treat your friends better than you treat anybody else? How many treat your family better than you treat anybody else? How many don't want nobody don't say nothing about my mama? Now I can talk about it, but you can't say nothing about it. Wait, right, yeah. Watch this. When Jesus heard that, I got to read that comma real good. He said, this sickness is not unto what? But Lazarus died. This sickness is not unto, but Lazarus died. But for the what? I started that on Wednesday. You were with us Wednesday, then you get it. But for the glory of God, because if I was to kind of go to another sermon, I would tell you that I don't think this whole situation had anything to do with Lazarus, Mary, or Martha. That's my own conjecture, own synopsis. I'll let some of my Bible scholars go check that out. I don't think this had nothing to do with them. I think they were just used for the glory of God. Uh-oh. I'm going to say it again. This really has nothing to do with you. It's just the fact that he's using you. So it's really not about you. It just involves you. And because it involves you, you think it's about you, but it's not really about you. It just involves you. It's really not about the car. It's about where you got to go. It's just the fact that the car is involved. But if the whole trip is about the car, then you forget the fact I got another destination to get to. And so because I got to gas the car, it's really not about the car, but it involves the car, so I got to do what it takes to get the car to do what I need. Am I making sense to anybody? And some of y'all are just vehicles to get from one thing to the next point. In other words, there's somebody in point B, and I got to use you to get a message from point A to point B. It's really not about you, but it involves you. But if you think it's about you, you will always think it's about you. And when it starts not looking like it's about you, you get real twisted. And I just want to know, where's the waiter? Because while you're waiting, he said, I'm expecting you to know something about me because you're close to me, because I don't treat my friends like I treat everybody else, because I expect my friends to know who I am and know what I'm getting ready to do. And whatever I'm going to do, I don't tell you anything, just trust me, trust me, trust me. Because it's really not about you. And some of us are tripping because we think this season is really about us, and God's like, no, it just involves you. Thank you, Jesus. In other words, you may mess up, but if it just involves you, he already knew you were going to mess up. If it just involves you, your mistakes had nothing to do with what I'm going to get in the end, because whatever I want, whatever he orders, he's going to get that order. I wish I had somebody ever been to Chick-fil-A in here. Whatever he orders, he's going to get his full order. How may I bless you today? Yes, Lord. When Jesus heard that, he said, this sickness is not unto death, but for the glory of God. Everything we do is for the glory of God. Everything you've been through is for the glory of God. Every setback was for the glory of God. Every mistake was for the glory of God. It didn't look good, but God says, I got to take that stuff so you'll be able to talk to somebody else who's been through going through what you've been through. I can't hear nobody up in here. If everything was right, we would never appreciate when things are wrong. If everything was wrong, we would never appreciate the fact that he's making me right. He's making me better. He's making me better. And sometimes, if we're so right, we'll then take on our own righteousness. And he says, that ain't number filthy rags. I need some folk who realize if God don't keep me, I won't be kept. I need some folk to realize if he doesn't walk with me, I'm messing this thing up. I need some people who realize if it had not been for God who was on my side, I don't know where I'd be right now. Where are my people who are walking by grace? I don't even know how I'm here right now, but I'm walking by grace. Where are my people who are walking by mercy? If he don't keep me, I will melt. That's why I'm grateful. Thank you. That's why I'm grateful. That's why I'm grateful for folk who are dirty. Oh, y'all clean, make me sick. That's why I'm so sick of y'all judgmental folk. Take my glass off so I can't see nobody. Everybody need a thug in their life. That's mine over there. She'll cut you in a minute. Now, I'm not condoning certain behavior, but I am saying every once in a while you just need to know if anything pop off. I can't see none of y'all. My vision a little blurry. If anything pop off, you need to know somebody can put somebody in the trunk and don't nobody got no evidence. I'm just saying, I'm a heathen. I'm sorry. I'm a heathen. I'm sorry. Don't quote me on that one. I'm just saying, you need somebody can be like, oh, I got that. I can take care of that. But one call does it all. That's all you need somebody like that. Because keep moving, Will. Keep moving. They're gonna think you're doing some stuff. I'm befuddled and discombobulated by the fact that we've turned this into something that is not he really intended. We've become so quarantined and so pseudo-sanctified that if somebody dirty walked in, we would become pharisaical where we would start pulling our skirts saying, don't touch me. Because your dirt is dirtier than my dirt. And because we know your dirt and don't nobody know my dirt, I'm going to act like your dirt is bigger than my dirt. Y'all quiet in here. I'm going to talk to this side. Ooh, I know you struggling with your sexuality, so let me just pull my skirt, because that's contagious. Stop it. And while I'm on the point, there's 6 things God hates. 7 are abomination. Homosexuality is not one. So before we start throwing off on one sin, let's deal with all the liars. Let's deal with all the backbiters. Let's deal with all the gossipers. Let's deal with all the pride folk. Let's deal with all the sarcastic folk who go beyond sarcasm. Oh my. Those that cause dissension amongst the brethren. In other words, you're causing splits in the body because of your mouth. So before we throw off on one just because they had activists, can we get some holiness activists that'll say, listen, it's all a mess, but thank God for grace and for mercy. And I just still want to know, where's the waiter? Now that I can see. I was dealing with a point in regards to some dirty people because this is what makes me feel better. Jesus hand-selected 12 misfits. Hand-selected. Hand-selected. In other words, I want you on my squad. Where do people used to get play kickball? Right your head high. I want to see where all my kickball players. And school. I'm talking about at school. And y'all remember when they used to make everybody line up? And you used to want to be captain just so you can make sure you get, make sure you got a spot on the team. And they start picking on you, and then the other person picking and say, ooh, you took that person. I'll take you. And it always gets awkward towards the last 3, 4 people. Because they looking like, and then none of us will be the last person, because the last person is like, and you know what they'll say? Come on. Just come on. Jesus selected a terrorist. That means you thugging out there for no reason, like you a zealot. He selected a crook who actually he put over the money. Because John will tell you, he was pulling for a little bit for me, 1 for Jesus, 1 for me, 2 for Jesus, just to cover up my next 3. Like, and they say he was pulling from the purse, and every time someone spent, ooh, we spent too much money. We ought to be giving this to the poor. And yet, Jesus knew it and left him in place. The sons of thunder, James and John, Boanerges. Father name is Zebedee. What's your father name? Zeb. They were called, Jesus named them the sons of thunder. Why? Because of their temper. So you hand selected 2 folk that are always popping off. You're like, calm down, you don't get us locked up. Like he chose them. Right, never scared. He chose another crook called a tax collector or a publican called Matthew or Levi. So you mean most of his crew is a bunch of thugs and crooks. And he's walking around all over all over Judea, all over Indian land, Tiga K, Charlotte. Matter of fact, they took one trip down to Columbia and came back up. They went down to Irma and said, listen, we can't stay there. And they came on back, Lexington, and then they stopped by Blythewood. They came all the way back up. They were going to go to Chucktown, but the boat wouldn't take them down there. They just came all the way back. So now, I'm sorry, Charleston. I know. I'm about to be in a lot of trouble. My whole sermon just got ransacked because I said one name. Anyway, so they go all the way, and watch this. They're healing people, casting out demons, exercising the faith, doing great. Matter of fact, if the stuff they did in one day happened today, it'd be all, listen, I'll tell you, it'd be all over the news. It'd be all, because Christ's miracles were common then, but they're phenomenon now. But it's the same body. What happened? We start acting too much like what he told us not to act like. And now he's still asking, where's the waiter? Why am I going down this whole rabbit trail when it comes down to who's serving? Because we got to remember what God is delivering and has delivered us from. So we can always keep a mind of grace for somebody else and always keep attachment to the one that's sustaining our lives. If I realize he don't keep me, then I'll always stay to him no matter what I do because I need him to sustain me. I wish I had some folk who were on life support in here that say amen. I'm going to say it again. I wish I had some folk who knew they were on life support. In other words, if he don't keep me hooked up, I'm getting rid of flatline. Yeah, but I'm so glad that he keeps me. Is there anybody that keeps a connection? Go to my next verse. It says, and I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to just leave y'all with a cliffhanger. Now, Jesus loved Martha and her sister and Lazarus. Where Mary? Oh, her sister. Keep moving, verse 6. And we had heard this way. You got a lot of nerve, Jesus. When he had heard that he was sick, what did he do? I know you got my text message. I know you read it. It said delivered. I know you got it. But you wait a whole 48 hours. 48 hours, watch this. That's just for him to leave where he is right then. Here's the geographical info, and I think I'm just going to leave y'all and just say, we'll come back later on. It took the messenger a day because from Bethabara, which is near the Jordan River where he got baptized, where he is right now, from Bethany, where Lazarus is, it's a whole day. It's like 25 to 30 miles. So it's a day's journey. You walk a day's journey. By the time he gets there, watch this. Lazarus is probably already dead by the time he's on the way. So your situation has already, but Jesus said this is not unto death. So whatever it looks like ain't what it really is, because I already knew what was going to happen and already worked it out. But while you're waiting, I just need you to keep the right perspective because I treat my friends a little bit different. That's why I want to know where's the way, because they that wait on the Lord shall. In other words, while you're waiting, you got to do something. The whole point of the text is he was using this for his glory. Let me just say, he was using it for his glory. So if he makes you inconvenienced, it was for his glory. If he makes you feel uncomfortable, it was for his glory. If he made you hold on a little while, it's for his glory. If he let it get so bad where you feel like it's irreconcilable, it ain't coming back, that just gives him more credence to show up and say, I am still the Lord and Savior. I'm still in control. It's all a setup. But while you're waiting, you have to have a certain perspective of what he's doing because he keeps indicting them. When it says he groans, when it says he's mourning, it's not just because Lazarus died, because he already said this not unto death. So why would he cry over Lazarus? Maybe it was because this whole situation it's triggering off a set of events for him to get to Calvary's cross. In other words, he's going from he went from public ministry, all the multitudes, to private ministry where he's instilling some things in the disciples because he's not going to always be there. And now he's got to transition into the passion. He goes from public to private to passion. Let's do it again, class. He's going from public to what? Private to what? Passion. And maybe that's what's happening with many of you all in the room. God keeps transitioning you and you don't know what he's doing because you're not waiting like you should wait. And he's taking you from public where everybody's like, oh, everybody know you're saved now. Everybody know you're happy now. And now he's bringing you to a private situation because he needs to put some stuff in you so where it's not just all this hype stuff. No, I got to make sure you know my word. I got to make sure that you have a great prayer life. I got to make sure you got some intimacy with me. I got to make sure that you got something that's anchoring you. So no matter what the wind happens, you're not going anywhere because you're steadfast, unmovable, always abounding. But now once you get through there, once I put some stuff in you and build you to a certain place, now you're ready for the passion. And the passion is where you have to die for somebody else. The passion is you have to give your life for the passion. And his passion, what was his passion? Souls. What was his passion? Lives. He said, I didn't come for the well. I came for the sick. I came for the dirty. I came for the heathens. I came for the drunks. I came for those that are not sober. I came for the prostitutes. I came for those who were prostitute and smoking and high and everything else because it's the only life they know. I came for all of them. But the only way you're going to reach them, you got to die. And the only way you're going to get to the place where you die to yourself, something's got to be triggered. And when he heals and raises Lazarus, now Lazarus is an epic example of the fact that he is who he says he is. And if we go further and hasten all the way down and expeditiously go down to the last few verses, it talks about that now that the Sanhedrin, the Jewish leaders, are saying, now we got to get rid of him because people are going to stop believing. We got to get rid of him because people are going to start believing. That's why the enemy's trying to take you out, because people are going to start believing. They were just starting to believe the God that you say you serve. But if I can get you to trip up your witness, people will never believe. Say, I thought you said. So what we got to do is, what the enemy's plot is, if I can get you tripped up in your identity, tripped up in your feelings, tripped up in what you're waiting on, tripped up because the fact that you got to wait, and I don't know why I got to wait, and you got to do all that, the enemy says, see,